refugee from the section 8 buildings, tryna cope with murders and killings. Them streets cold, little nigga, I done lost all my feelings. Tryna turn a rap to a million, ride around the city with a strap on my realist. Talking to a nigga who fearless. A lot of pain on my heart, gotta pray for the healing. Change life, I'm so hanging with killers.
Every day it's on my mind, I gotta teach my people. Why the fuck y'all mad at me? Cause I call out evil. Y'all know the words of Yahweh is too damn lethal. I could show it in the Bible, them scriptures I read them. Niggas talking about action, I'm dying for this. Saturdays and Sundays we sliding on shit. I got the full armor of God, them darts gon' miss. I ain't the type when it's hard to abandon the ship. I'm standing.
How you doing, brother? Yeah, I was just waiting. You know what we doing over here? Nah, that's what I was trying to see. Oh yeah, we let Black, Brown, and Native Americans go there to shoot people in Israel. What would you consider your nationality? I don't know. Like most of us, we the only ones that don't know. Yeah, that's what would you consider your father? I got it. My father. My father? Yeah. You see yourself on this starting? I mean, the more I'm starting to get older, the more I'm losing faith in a little bit of anything, but I still go back to a situation that happened to me that made me have faith in God. That was, I guess you said, testimonial-wise. I prayed for the people. When I didn't pray for the people, I prayed for something to eat. My mama came to the door 5 minutes later with a little piece of pizza, $5 pizza, got my faith in God. That's right. That's that. Now, as far as Jesus and God and who God is and who Jesus is, I'm still working on that, but I know it's still something, how God, when it started, and I based on what my mama taught me, white Jesus and that, I don't know. I'm still working on that. So that's why I know it's something, give something like that. That's why we out. Do you see yourself on here? Anyway. So, let me read something for you. You consider yourself like an African American or not? African, West African? We'll say African American. What's your common theme? Okay, we're gonna respond to what you just said about your testimony, just simple, brief testimony. And you said you're not familiar with, are you not leaning towards Bible or the biblical aspect of the higher power? That's what you're saying? I believe in the Bible. I don't understand it, but I believe in it. You said something about white Jesus, though, right? You don't believe in that. But we don't believe in that either. We're going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on that in a second. Don't worry about it. I'm going to read this verse based on what you just spoke, because we believe the Bible is a living word, because life is about, things that happen, and God has prophecy and ordained things from the beginning to happen, and obviously He shows people certain things for you to have faith in Him and to say, okay, well, there is something that's looking over me and taking care of me. So this is what it says. This is Matthew 6:25. Therefore, this is the word called Jesus Christ speaking. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat and the body than raiment? Talking about clothes. Behold, the fowls of the earth, the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? You hear what I said? Even if it's old English, but it's based. I'm gonna read it. You can break it down better in different translations. I'm gonna read it in different translations. The modern translation is better as far as how it reads. Because the old English, different words in the translation. So Matthew 6:25, and this is in the AMP. Therefore I tell you, stop being worried or anxious, perpetually uneasy or distracted about your life as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body as to what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air; they neither sow seed nor reap the harvest, nor gather the crops into barns, and yet your heavenly Father keeps feeding them. Are you not much more than they? That's what it says. So of course, this is what it says. Animals, they have instincts. they don't think spiritually for the most part, right? But they have instincts. Like we believe God made the animals, of course.
I say this all the time.
Exactly.
Can I tell you something that I say all the time?
Sure.
And I didn't even read this in the Bible. This is something I say all the time. Ain't nobody teach me how to get my dick home.
Hey.
Ain't nobody teach me how to love my mama. She might have fucked up later on, but ain't nobody teach me that.
Exactly. It's a natural thing. Because for the most part, it's just in the
And I
animal.
never read that in the Bible. That's just something I feel in this craziness in the
That's
Bible.
weird. Yeah, it's all here, brother. This is the same chapter. I just read a different translation to make it simple for you. But just to break it down, like I said, animals have animal instincts. Like I mentioned, the birds. A fowl is a bird. Birds, what? They create their own nest, right? You see in the National Geographic shows or TikTok, whatever videos, birds will naturally, they have a mate, a male, a female, a species of birds. They mate. Then before the babies come, they go in the branches somewhere. Maybe they go inside the garage or gutter. You know, you see videos like that. And then they prepare for the eggs to hatch. They put shrubbery there, leaves, branches, so they can support the eggs. And then they lay on the eggs and keep it warm. And that's how they incubate eggs. That's why when you buy eggs from the store, you put them in the fridge. Why? Because those are still eggs that were laid by a hen. If you put them in heat, the egg will incubate still. You know what I'm saying? You get that? So guess what? If a bird is instinctually making its own place to lay eggs, and then they have to go search their own food, they dig in dirt, they eat nuts, and even things on the ground. Like you see kids all over the ground looking for things, popcorn or chips, or whatever the case may be. Somebody throws some seeds out, they're gonna go right for it. And that's how it says they don't know how to sow a seed, water it, wait for 3 months, go back and collect the crop. They don't know how to do that.
What you doing with that?
I'm saying though, it's saying how you were praying to God for a meal, God answered just like that. Maybe you didn't have money. Maybe you didn't have no one to call to try to or cash up to see your DoorDash. But guess what? God already knew. Your mom was already on your way before you made that prayer. You know what I'm saying? But it just happened. Hey, I'm gonna pray for this man. Like I'm this hungry. I need to looking for somebody to help me. And I don't know if you said it out louder in your mind, but guess what? 5 minutes later, it was delivered. So we're saying that. Guess what? You're better than a bird. Because you can literally get food for yourself in most part, right? Whether it's by hook or by crook.
Not doing.
You see what I'm saying? If you got to steal for it, guess what? People steal all the time out here for food. So people settle for less. And people, they don't want to get a job. They don't want to work hard. You have the ability to work hard. You can live after yourself. You're not dirty. You're not on drugs. So guess what?
I'm on drugs. I'm on drugs right now.
Weed? What you on?
All type of shit.
You
Right
on,
now, I'm on crack.
You on crack. How old are you, brother?
I'm 20.
28. You smoke crack.
I smoke crack.
Why? Hold on, so that's where your money's going?
Yeah, when that time you smoke crack?
I've never smoked crack, brother. I've smoked weed before. I've done some pills. And, like, I don't say light drugs.
But you ain't never been in my situation. You can't tell me about my
I'm not trying to say that situation. I made an assumption, and of course you corrected me, and you were honest.
They took me to do it to realize the life was.
You said what?
They took me to do it to realize the life was.
What you mean?
And it's bad for me though. It's bad. It's something I want to get out of.
Okay, so you know how to function on it. But you say are you high right now? Literally, today.
It's not functioning. Yeah, I can function right now, but
How does it affect you? What makes you do that though? That's what I'm asking.
boredom.
Drugs and drugs. And you have liquor on your hands.
I told you.
That's not a problem. I don't have a problem. Like I said, I said that right before you said that. People feel to survive all the time. America was stolen from the Native Americans. African Americans were stolen from our home country, and what we believe is Israel, and taken to West Africa, and stolen from there. I really don't care who steals in America, especially from our people. America is a lot more than some liquor bottles. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, as far as your perspective, God intervened in that situation, delivered a pizza to you, coming up to you, but hey, man, this might put you in the right perspective. Hey, maybe if I do this again, I can get blessed. But guess what? You have to realize what you just said to me. Like, I'm like, DJ, and not good for you. I'm weaning myself off of it. That's the mindset you should have. You're younger than me. You're younger than everybody else here, actually. So you have a better opportunity to live life better, longer than us. Because me personally, I didn't come into this information until I was 31. You know what I'm saying? When I was 21, I was selling drugs, doing drugs, doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I never did crack. I told a couple of lines, in the past.
You ever sell crack?
One. I was never, I sold soft white.
You crack, you would never realize why you made $400 an hour on one person.
I've never done that. That wasn't my thing. I never got in that bitch. I just had the pills, had the weed, had some soft white. That's it. Never outside of that. I never really was, I didn't make a lifestyle of it, you know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. I used to smoke weed more than anything. I didn't really sell as a full-time thing. I didn't quit my regular job to sell drugs. You know what I mean? So it was a little different. And I think at that time, just me personally, I think God was already dealing with me to a certain extent where I didn't cross over to a line to go where I couldn't be recovered from. You know what I'm saying? And that's where most I deal with you. You're a young man. You came up to us. You admitted your fault to us, which the Bible talks about, confessing your fault one to another. And like I said, if you know it's wrong already, you have to do things to stop doing it or at least avoid from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Were you from out here? Where you from?
I'm from the city, but I stay out here now.
Yeah. So I can still an accent, but yeah, I'm saying like, if you know what wrong is,
I want to stop.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where it starts. Have it in your brain, because what you think is what you're gonna do, right?
I need something better for my time. But
Yeah. You don't work?
I'm basically retired military.
Oh, so you get that monthly disability. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, that can be, like I said, a two-edged sword. Like I said, you don't got to work for real to get that monthly disability check. So you can do whatever you want with the money. Pay your rent and
I feel like that was the one thing that happened to me.
what? Go in the military
Nah, getting that,
and disability check.
yeah.
But that's what you got to realize. If you don't have any active goals or active things that you want to do in your life as a young man, like I said, 20 years old, if I knew what I do now, of course, I'd change my life immediately. And like I said, that's why information is so powerful. And even at your younger age, you're coming out here seeking drugs for some type of front to stimulate your mind. But it doesn't do that. It does the exact opposite. Because crack cocaine can be come with anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's in the crack. You get it from somebody different. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't just make crack out of nothing. Of course, it's a plant. You have to cut it, put chemicals in it, and then rock it up, sell it, and then, like I said, somebody just OD, right? You was over here. You seen that dude OD right here.
I see it all the time.
What makes you think God won't do it to you? Based on the spiritual aspect, I think you have a positive outlook on what you're into in your lifestyle. But guess what? You have to do better now, day by day. So it takes, 21 days to create a habit.
The way I look at it is how long I be like that.
Listen, change today. What you got for that?
James 5 and 16. Confess your faults one to another.
Read.
And pray for another.
Pray for another. We can pray for you, brother. What's your name?
Sid.
Sid?
Sid.
Sid. Cedric.
That ye may be healed.
That ye may be healed. You want to be healed, right? Go ahead.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
The effectual prayer of a righteous man availeth much. What? It's going to benefit somebody a lot if they praying as a righteous person. We believe we're on our way to righteousness. We're trying to steer you into righteousness. And righteousness is what? Obeying what God said in the Bible. Now, like I said, it's easy just to talk about the Bible. We go to church. We don't go to church. We don't believe the church teaches the truth to our people. So we don't need you to go to church. We need you to understand who you are and that this Bible was made and written by our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And we can prove it. You mentioned Jesus earlier, right? White Jesus. This picture, this guy. This was a real person that lived back in the 1400s. That guy right there. That was Caesar Borgia, son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. 1490. You familiar with Michelangelo? You've heard the name before, right?
I heard the name. I'm not familiar with what he did.
He's a painter, famous painter.
Yeah.
He painted the 16th chapel, quote unquote, in Rome on the ceiling. That's mural. He painted that image of the white Jesus in the 1400s as a ploy to propagate white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? This person that they claim is Jesus, he was actually a murderer, and he slept with his own sister. You watch TV? Netflix? If you have Netflix, go home, look up the Borgia crime family. Borgia. That's their real name. And it's a show on Netflix.
What's the French?
It's Latin. Because Romans were Latin. They spoke Latin. So Borgia is a European name, but it's more likely it's Latin. So Borgia crime family. They had a whole family. I have to book it. I should have told somebody to bring that book. I have a book on the history of it.
I watched it before.
Yeah, exactly. It's easier to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I have a book at the house based on the same story. They were popes in Rome, and they were like heads of church. So of course, if you're in a family, they're gonna keep it in family. Hey, my uncle's gonna come over here and rule this church. My son, oh yeah, he's gonna be Jesus now. And then guess what they did? Took that picture over to the Americans, hold it up to the Native Americans. Hey, add his Bible. This is your Jesus. Bow down to this white picture, or you'll die. What do you think he'll do? And guess what happened 600 years later? You guys put horns on Jesus. People coming to tell her all the time. You put horns on Jesus, huh? This is Jesus? How do you know? Because that's what we're taught. Generation after generation after generation. And guess what? In America, that's what's propagated. You know what I mean? You go to any church in America, they might have a picture, but they'll have like the figurine or the cross, you know what I mean? Which we don't condone. But guess what? The Bible says.
I wear this on my neck, and I don't even know why I wear it.
Is that a cross or a T? It's a cross?
It's supposed to be a cross.
Oh, okay. It is. Okay, we'll touch on that.
I don't wear it for a spiritual purpose, you know?
What do you wear it for?
It looked nice when I bought it. Just wear it on my
We'll
neck.
touch on that in a second. Book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48.
Get out!
And laid open the book of the law. Talking about the other nations. Talking about the European nation at the time. Read. Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image. The heathen are the other nations other than the Israelites. You're an Israelite. We're Israelites up here. That's other than Israelites. If you're African American, Native American, or indigenous Spanish. We believe we're Israelites based on prophecy, based on what happened to us in the Bible. God looked at what happened to us for disobeying the commandments. One of the number one commandments that we disobeyed was idolatry. The cross is an idol, right? People are like, oh, hold on to the cross, pray to it, kiss it. Huh? What is that about? You believe that's an idol, brother?
What you just said, I understand.
Yeah. Imagine me looking at something that was created by a man. Oh man, this is so sacred to me. Like, why? Like, God created everything. You know what I'm saying? And in the history, what we've studied, that's not even the same cross, quote unquote, Jesus died on. He died on what's called a X. He got executed on the cross. And further that, it's a murder weapon. You have any brothers and sisters? If your brother or sister got murdered by an AK-47, would you buy an AK-47 chain and put it on? Oh, my brother got killed by this AK-47. It means so much. No, it's a murder weapon. My family never died by that mechanism. It doesn't make any sense. But in Christian church, I got a cross over that statue on the cross. Jesus died on the cross. I got to wear it. What? But that's a murder weapon. And guess what? He was the only one to die on that. If that's the case. So what makes him special? We believe he's special, but guess what? Thousands of people died on that same mechanism. You know what I'm saying? So why single out one person and make it some type of idol, which we believe it's an idol, and separate everybody else that died on it? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing special about that symbol. And I'm supposed to everything after this. When you do some more studying, like I said, because I've been doing this for like 8 years, studying the Bible, researching, diving in. You know what I'm saying? So this is our culture. If I believe it's our culture, it's our ancestors' book, and I'm part of this book as far as my culture, I have to go deeper than what certain people. You know what I'm saying? So what we're telling you, based on this brief conversation we're having, that thing on your neck is an idol, and God hates that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to serve God first and foremost, you got to learn who you are, realize the meaning behind following God's commandments, and why we're in this predicament. Why you, as a young man, 20 years old, look healthy, you don't look strung out, you don't look on drugs. You look healthy, right?
Ask my mama that.
Listen, we're not talking to your mom. We're talking to you.
I'm saying, like, saying that, I appreciate you saying, I appreciate it, but I'm not. My mama wouldn't say the same thing. You know, you just let me say it.
Exactly.
My mama
I can't go off anything without hearing some things you hear today.
My mama would say different things.
And she knows you better than me.
I'm not good at that. I'm not.
And like I said, as long as you recognize that, you have room to grow. That's called being humble. And God likes that type of spirit, contrite spirit, a broken spirit. Like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I got to find a different way. That's what God loves. You know what I'm saying? And that way, you're like, okay, break you down to little fractions and then build you back up to be more powerful. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 4. Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee a graven image,
A graven image, that's a graven image. Read.
or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above,
Read.
or that is in the earth beneath.
What does that remind you of? If somebody makes a graven image of something that's in the heaven above or in the earth beneath, what rings the bell in that context? Like what people make on the earth. You can go to zodiac signs. Zodiac signs are huge among our people. I'm an Aries, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a Gemini.
I never hear that in religion,
I'm
though.
a Capricorn. But you know, I thought it was people think that. I can go on any video online. People have a cross on their neck. I'm a Capricorn. Huh? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Now, of course, when I read a horoscope of my particular horoscope, I'm like, damn, that does kind of match me. But guess what?
If I read yours, you read mine, you're going to take the same thing.
You know what?
If I read yours, you read mine, you're going to take the same thing.
Exactly.
It'd be kind of cliche.
I can read any horoscope and I can feel that way at any time in my life. Does that mean I'm a Gemini or a Sagittarius now? According to the book, yes. But guess what? I can wake up and feel like a Aries. Just because of what I do and what I feel, like how I treat somebody. It doesn't make any sense. And first of all, that's idolatry too. Because like I said, you put things in the heaven above, like that's based on an astrological science, astrology. That's what horoscopes are based on, right? You familiar with that? So astrology is based off the stars in heaven, you know, planets, things like that. Who told you that was true?
I don't think we understand none of this going on.
And that's a great point. It's good to, read about, I understand that. But once you wake up, you thought of what was the Matrix before? What was the Matrix about?
I don't know. I haven't really just watched the whole thing through.
It's a great movie to watch once you like take a step back and
I ain't
realize
watching
what
as
was
an
going
adult.
on.
I ain't watching it now.
The Matrix was really about people that weren't following the mainstream media or the mainstream viewpoint of the world. You know what I'm saying? Give me that Exodus 23. Actually. You know what I'm saying? People follow trends. It's like on TikTok. Somebody do one dance, it goes viral. You'll see 1,000 videos for the next month. Same song, same track. People live vicariously through music. The Christian church, you go to Christian church, you're going to hear the same message every week. Pass on a collection plate every week.
What religion do you call yourself? Not call yourself, I said that. What religion would you be, like a Muslim?
Nah, we're definitely not Muslims. We believe we are the Israelites of the Bible.
Right.
We believe, if you want to call it a religion, we believe our religion is following the commandments of God.
So no religion, basically no religion.
We do have you can call it a religion, but it's not a formal state-sanctioned religion. It's a biblical privilege that God gave us. And we're going to get to how to prove what it is like in a second. We believe God gave our ancestors a moral compass, a moral code, structure, and guidelines to live by when we have our own jurisdiction, our own land, that's the kingdom, that's the nation. So just imagine, you say you were in the military, right? Guess what? You had to sign a contract. Follow these rules. Wake up at this time. Do PT. Train. On a schedule. You can't go outside those guidelines.
I missed it.
And that's what I'm saying. You probably got out. You didn't know what to do. And I'm not saying you alone. A lot of ex-military people fall on the wayside because they don't further their career doing something else. They don't get out and take advantage of the what's that college grant bill y'all have?
Yeah,
the I bill. So you want to take advantage of that. You get your disability, get on drugs, and get that money back. It's easy. That's where you're at kind of right now. You haven't fallen all the way up, like I said, but at the same time, you're bored mentally. You're not mentally stimulated anymore because you haven't added it to yourself. We're trying to pour wisdom and life into you right now. When you go home, like, man, I got to research this. You got a flyer, right? I'm pretty sure you're on YouTube, right? You can spend a day or two watching YouTube videos on the information on Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, as far as the information that students and researchers have been around since the 60s. Malcolm X went to the Islamic school. Wu-Tang Clan went to the Islamic school. Familiar with that? Well, I'm pretty sure you're not, but I'm saying. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan.
I like that stuff.
Malcolm X is about Muslims. He followed Islam, which isn't our culture, but he spoke on the Bible still. You know what I'm saying? We read this earlier about the 37th, the Valley of Dry Bones. Right now, you'd be considered a dry bone, spiritually, up here. Because you wandered out the way of understanding which is the laws of God, and you're understanding who you are and who your God is. So guess what? The prophecy says, we're going to prophesy unto you. We're going to get to the prophecy in a second on how you're in this life. And you being
I know that.
I'm just saying, though. As long as you're here, we're going to talk to you, brother. That's all. What you have? Oh, no, you have to. At the top. Yeah, not following most people either. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Don't follow multitude to do evil. What's the easiest thing we see right now amongst our people? What's being promoted amongst our culture right now? This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Having sex with all these women and leaving them out high and dry, having babies that, leaving them high and dry, that's what's negative.
What would you say something that's being promoted most?
Gangster rap.
Pretty much why I was going
murder,
drugs.
Yeah. That's popular, right? That's what makes you cool on TV. That's how you get girls. There's gangbanging amongst each other. That's what's cool. If you do that, guess what? Ladies will flock to you. But guess what? That's a death culture. That's not our culture. We created that out of frustration, out of poverty. Because when you're in poverty,
it really makes a difference. I can listen to a song right now.
It'll
angry there, and I can feel it, especially on regular song.
Exactly.
Listen to a love song, be ready to go get married.
They put spirits on music too in the industry. But I'm saying that to say that can influence you and sway you in a certain way. So if your mind ain't strong enough, of course, you're like, oh man, I be listening to some Tupac and when I ride on the enemy, like, all right, well, guess what? You're gonna do it that way for 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for me to do it. Because I can listen to it, I know the difference. I know this is a entertainment, and also this isn't what they were doing actively when they were making these songs.
Yeah, they could lock me in church for 4 hours now.
Well, I got a couple more. Let me get 3 more.
I'm done.
No, I got one more for you. I got one more for you. Brother, don't do that, brother. Get him. Brother, do not get high over there, brother. That's crazy. You just disobeyed everything we talked about. Oh, that's just talking about, brother. That's crazy. Already so crash. You can't listen to understand. You say you're not going to take my time with church. I'm going to go there and smoke. That is insane. That is crazy. Give me that in Sarai. Real quick. Man, he did not care. He was ready to leave some minutes ago.
Book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 19. Doctrine unto fools is a fetter on the feet.
Is that better?
Is as fetter on the feet.
Is that better? It's talking about shackles on your feet. It's going to weigh them down. So they want to get up and smoke crack. This doctrine is going to be fetters on his feet. Oh, I can't listen to that all day. That's what's happening now. Read.
And like manacles on the right hand.
And that's binding them back. It's holding them back. Man, I'm gonna be locked down by God's commandments and laws. You don't earn who I am. I'm not gonna be locked down by some church message. It's crazy. But you want to get off crack, right? You didn't know what he said? How else you gonna get off crack if you don't, first of all, stop coming to 16 looking for it? Now, like I said, this is the danger, like you said, of having that disability check. He has free reign to do whatever he wants with that money. He's gonna get $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for the rest of his life, his own lives, because he serves the white man's military. And now he can buy crack as he pleases. But guess what? He's still stealing liquor from liquor stores. How does that work? So you use your money to buy crack, but steal from liquor stores. It's crazy. It's backwards. Our people are sick in the head. A 28-year-old young man, and I thought he was sober. He said, "No, I'm not sober." And like I said, I don't have a problem with admitting it. I have a problem with you continuing in that sin and that wickedness, knowing that you know it's wrong. That is crazy. This brother needs serious prayer and help. I don't think I've seen him before over here. I don't see it.
A lot of times, you know, they have to take people to jail to break that.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I said. When you build a habit, it takes 21 days. He needs more than 21 days.
Bro. You go lay down for about 2 years.
Like, bro, like you're 20 years old, you smoke crack because you're bored. Like, so when I'm bored, I probably will, you know, watch some anime or watch some sports shows on YouTube. I mean, I'm not smoking no damn crack. That's crazy. That's insane.
That's on me.
That's what I'm saying. Give me James 4:17. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of James, chapter 4 and verse 17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not,
And doeth it not, read.
to him it is sin.
The brother knows that he's doing something wrong. I'm not saying he knows to do good for him, but as far as drugs and doing drugs, he knows it's not good. And he knows that if he didn't do it, that'd be the good thing. And he prayed for a slice of pizza or food. His mom's living to him. So I'm pretty sure he might live with his mom right now. And if he's probably paying rent, you know, whatever, you live with his mom. But guess what? That's why he kept saying, mom would tell you that. Because she knows you're on drugs, nigga. And you need to break that spirit off you. You trying to do it, but man, I can't be scum by this. That's what he said. Like, I can't let these dudes influence me enough where I'm gonna change. That's exactly what happened. That's the spirit that was on that brother right now. I cannot be around this too much longer. Because I know I have a plan in my head to come to 66 to smoke damn crack. It is crazy, bro.
It just seems good right here.
And that's my point. That's what he said earlier, too, what he said. I mean, how long is it going to take till I get there? Nigga, that's crazy. Nigga, you can do that tomorrow, you can do it right now. You know? This for mocking. This is not even mocking, this for disregarding it. That's what I'm trying to get at you right now.
The book of Sirach, chapter 21 and verse 15.
Read.
If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will command it.
He will commend it.
Commend it.
Man, that's a great piece of advice. I gotta implement that in my lifestyle. I gotta take it into consideration. I gotta look into that. He didn't say that today. Go ahead.
And add unto it.
And add unto it. You know, continue on with that message in a positive fashion. Read.
But as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeases him.
Read that again.
But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it,
As soon as no understanding there for wisdom and information and the positive affirmations and the things they can change in his life, read.
it displeases him,
It displeases him. He don't like what he's hearing. Read.
and he casts it behind his back.
And he cast behind his back. That's what just happened just now. We were trying to build the brother up in his spirit, edify the brother, tell him who he is in the Bible. Tell him that his prayer wasn't just a sprinkle of the Most High saying, okay, I see that prayer is right now. There's a little bit of wrestling in your spirit to turn over a new leaf. So Most High gave him that little instant of our shot, what you call it, a jolt of electricity as far as, okay, you're an Israelite, but guess what? You got to turn over that whole thing and do a whole 180. Just with a small gesture with people. You know what I'm saying? So we try to give him a little bit more information, a little more milk, and he spit it back up. Most high did one right now, I guess. Which is unfortunate because the brother was listening for like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? He was going to say for the most part. He said it was high, which I couldn't tell, but guess what? Maybe that's why he couldn't see through the fall that people falls in and understand fully of what the situation is in. Even though he said it out of his mouth, mentally and spiritually he was prepared for it. And he wasn't trying to hear it, that's why he left it. He said, hey, go ahead, let it, you know. You had to rock 5. We always bring this out, but this is another prime lesson. Like God.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 2. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. And say not, who shall control me for my works?
That's what's going on with the Who's going to say, hey man, I'm supposed to crack, I'm stealing, I'm on the block, that, I'm bored out of my mind, I have nothing more to myself, whatever it is, check for the military. Who's going to control me and do anything different? No, because he had a free ride for this fucking. He was smoking crack until he would come, get a pistol side of things. That's what's going to be smoking the two percent. Read.
For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
Those guys were revenge pride. He showed a brief moment of humbleness, like I said, by admitting towards what he was doing and realizing, okay, it's wrong, but guess what? It wasn't powerful enough for him to realize, damn, I got to change. He didn't have that information. He didn't have that spirit upon him. He had a spirit of, damn, I am doing wrong, but guess what? I'm right over here, all right, might as well. I know, I hear you, but niggas over there got crack right now. I got to holler at them. Back, read.
Say not, I have sinned.
Read.
And what harm hath happened unto me?
Yes, I've sinned. We just literally just seen a brother OD right before, he saw it right before he came over to talk to us. I saw him walk by, nigga was ODing right in front of our face. It's crazy. Then he goes, well, wait a minute. I think about that all the time. How long is it going to take for that to happen to me? Read that again.
Say not, I have sinned.
Read.
And what harm hath happened unto me?
What harm happened to me? Nothing happened to him yet. That's why he's so private. Read.
For the Lord is long suffering.
The Lord's long suffering. You're 20 years old. I'm not sure how long you've been doing crack. I don't know how long you've been out the military. Guess what? Right now, this very moment on 50 mission, April 4th, you are in sin in the Most High season. Read.
He will in no wise let thee go.
That's let you go. We read it.
Concerning
Propitiation. It's like a sacrifice or an offering. Read.
Be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
Yeah, he's not without fear. He doesn't fear at all. He don't know about God. That's the problem. He believes because he got a pizza, but that's how far it went. I read a couple verses to him about, man, I don't think about that. That's how the book works.
If he was saying when he first got up here, he was saying he was starting to lose his faith. So
Go ahead.
and say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sin.
Yeah, you're going to get away with everything he's doing. You don't know when he's going to OD. That's what he said. He's scared. So he's not scared enough to stop smoking. See?
For mercy and wrath come from him.
Mercy and wrath comes from the God. He has mercy upon you. But it's also part of the long suffering. Anyway, there's people that are kingpins in the drug game. 40 years, got a whole empire. Then they get slammed at an old age when they got all the mansions, cars, everything they could ever imagine. Or you can be like somebody I know. He goes to jail every so often. Gets a record, now he can't really do anything else outside of work around certain street things, independent things that don't require you to get a background check. That's how long suffering. Most times don't suffering on who he chooses. But this brother got judged to the extent where he can change. Read.
And his indignation,
That's where his fear is lacking. Read.
and his indignation rests upon sinners.
His indignation rests upon sinners. His righteous hatred rests upon people that sin against the Most High God, Yahweh. And that brother said, is sinning at his very second. Smoking crack the pound is simple, losing his damn mind, supporting niggas that are also in sin, which are towards him. It don't make no sense. Who, like, I don't know if I've heard that before. You're bored, so you smoke crack. I'm appalled. That's crazy, bro. Bro, niggas go on trips. They're ready to go on vacation, nigga. Go to Thailand. Go to Hawaii. Go to the Philippines. Go to Bali. Go to them Bora Bora. Go to Bahamas. Spend your money on that. Go be the girl with the DR. Go to Medellin and Colombia. These are girls out there. You want to go back to this? So many girls. Most times we're looking at the judges for being right for this stuff. You might see me, I'm gonna ask him what he's doing at that time to see if he's still on that drug, but on those drugs. But guess what? More likely, he's not gonna see until something drastic happens. You know what I'm saying? Is that it? That's it. Go ahead.
Make no tearing to turn to the Lord.
Make no change to turn to the Lord. Don't change to turn to the Lord. Or don't wait to turn to the Lord. But why? Read.
And put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
That's when the wrath of the Lord comes forth. When you don't feel like you got a chance, you don't feel like nothing's going to happen to you. Or when you feel like nothing's going to happen to you. Most likely, judge you just the same. Because you got pride, you're sinning, and you have no fear. Read.
And thy securities thou shalt be destroyed.
And that security, I'll be destroyed. I get a monthly check. I'm good. I'm bored. I don't have nothing else going for it. Except for monthly check for the military. I have a free range to do whatever I want. But that's security for him. But the most I looking at him like, okay, you listen to all the things you're listening to properly, the information. Now you can grow up and change your ways, rethink yourself. You got your warning. You got a brief warning. We got a little bit of blood up our hands in the spirit. All praise to the Most High. But guess what? Most High got to water that plant or that seed, which he sprouted. Or we kill the Americans. You know what I'm saying? Read, that is.
And the perish in that day of vengeance.
And perish in the day of vengeance.